Yeah. They ain't believe me when I told them crypto was the future. Now they trying to get in, but it's too late. We've been stacking Marbit since day one. No banks, no middlemen, just power moves. Let's get it. Yeah.
Welcome everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We have gone live a little bit earlier. Welcome to everybody tuning in on TikTok as well. We're going to be breaking down the markets. The Federal Reserve decision on fund rates is a no-go. I mean, we're not really surprised, but it's actually worse than you think it is, which we're going to talk about tonight. And obviously, we'll get into the latest. Why is this not standing up right? What the hell is going on? We're also going to get into the latest when it comes to the... Oh, what is going on? TikTok, what happened? Hold on a minute. TikTok, what the frick? There we are. Okay, you guys are back. Sorry about that, everybody. Bit weird. Just yeeted my phone into the next week. Anyway, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about price predictions. Where can Bitcoin go? It does look like it's trying to rally back a little bit, as I think people sort of break down what this meeting was all about. This was a very interesting meeting. And if I'm honest, and my view of it, and I listened to the whole thing, questions and all, this wasn't about interest rate policy. This absolutely wasn't at all about anything to do with policy. It wasn't anything to do with monetary policy. It wasn't anything to do with anything that matters. This was a giant middle finger to the one and only President of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump. So that's my opinion, by the way. I'm going to tell you a little bit as to why I think that. As always, though, if you've got any questions or you just want me to walk through a little bit about what's said, I've got a full summary for you guys in tonight's live stream. We'll obviously then take a look at the full US official cryptocurrency document. That is crazier bullish than the Fed rate, by the way. But we'll sort of get into that and we'll sort of break down everything that's going on. Gold is tanking 1.57%. The whole market's like taking an absolute dumperino on the back of what back of what Jerome Powell said. By the way, it was not good. But I think if you peel back the onion skin, I don't know what this action is, you sort of get to a very bitter and slightly uneasy man. That's my opinion. But anyway, more of that in tonight's live stream. As always, if you are bullish on everything to do with cryptocurrency, please hit the like button. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And likewise, tap that screen if you're here. Make sure that you're all over it. Like I said, bring your questions, bring your thoughts, bring your opinions. This is the first of 2 live streams I'm doing this evening. Oh my God, what is happening? What is happening? I need to get... Right, okay. Can someone send me like a stand? I need a stand to put this phone on rather than at the minute, which is basically a can and some like really weird stand. I need like a proper TikTok stand if anyone's got one. Right. Thanks, Blazer, you legend. Moderator's in the building, baby. Good to see you. Shane's in the house. Well, what's going on, Shane? Welcome to Mr. Tim Shares' more likely September rate cuts. Maybe. XRP News. What's going on, pal? 37's here. Selmo's here. Welcome. Craig's here. Good to see you. Pokemon's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Robert Dover said no rate cuts, 100% political. But now the question is, Fed rate cut whole base, but no. I'll tell you why. Foz, good to see you, man. Welcome. AMG's here as well. All the gang jumping in a little bit early, like we said. It is kind of like Christmas, isn't it? It's like, is Tubit going to go live early? Is he not going to go live early? Like, who the hell knows? I went early. Duke Action says, good morning. I'm from Australia. Woke up early to watch the dump live. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's coming back a little bit now. We'll get into it right now. But look at this. We're back up nearly at 117. So that's kind of good news. In the short term, nice little wick up as, I think there's a bit of scrambling from some of the people in the Trump administration to try not to crash this market. And like I said, when people sort of understand what's going on, I think people get to a place where they're slightly more optimistic, in my view, which is good news. So anyway, with that being said, let's kind of get into a little bit of what's going on and a little bit of kind of everything that's happened today. So like I just said, we obviously got Jerome Powell giving us his view on the market. And it wasn't great. If I'm dead honest, by the way, it really wasn't that good. But since then, we've had a lot of optimistic news in the markets, which is kind of good news. So yeah. Sorry, late. Lads, crypto is finished. I'm selling everything. Nightlife, let me know how that works out for you in about... Let me know how that works out for you in 4 weeks' time, yeah? Come back on this live and be like, bro, boys, I'm so pleased I sold that top at 117. Let me know how that goes. But yeah, Shane, good to see you, man. Welcome as always. Got 2 nice entries today on XRP. Already 230 up. Nice, yeah. There's some definite opportunities out there. So we'll break into a little bit of macro news right now. But Bitcoin is rallying back up. Lots of Trump people getting on the bandwagon when it comes to markets, in particular risk on such as Bitcoin. We've seen Scott Bessent talking about being bullish. We now have in literally the last 30 seconds. Bo Hines coming out saying that he can confirm a strategic Bitcoin reserve is coming and that investors will be very pleased. We'll break down some of that real clarity in the strengthening American leadership in digital financial technology. It's a pretty interesting report. It is 166 pages. So I'm hoping you guys are locked in for the stream tonight, because it is going to take a while as we sort of get through all of those 106. I'm kidding. We're not doing 166 pages. That would be insane. I'm selling right now. Okay, good. Nightlife. Like I said, let me know. Keep me posted, bro. I wish you one. The amount of Pete, I love it. I absolutely wish you the most success in the world, by the way. I really do. But I'm not sure. Personally, that's just my opinion. I'm not sure right now would be a good time to dump your bags. Only because the market actually looks like it's got some strength coming in. And yeah, I mean, we know why the market dumped. That doesn't mean that it's over. Just my opinion. And actually, when you work through where we could be in, say, a month, I think I would wait till Friday, right? That's just my opinion. Not financial advice. Do what you want. It's your money. My opinion is wait till Friday. Jerome Powell talked a lot about the labor market, and that's something that we need to keep a very close eye on. Is the labor market numbers going to be terrible on Friday? If they are, then we might be a bit spicy. But anyway, Coinbase and Chase getting together to offer crypto to their clients. Yep, got that. Robert Doe, we're going to talk about that. Tim's in the house. 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝘁𝗲𝗱 says economy very strong, no reason to reduce rates. You know what? When you let this, like, the emotion just drain out and you kind of go, right, okay, why is he not cutting rates? You do get into a place where you've got a really healthy economy. You have still got an uncertainty when it comes to tariffs. So you're a bit like, why cut rates? Why cut them? And actually, when you look at trueflation, which is not the most accurate number, but you could argue and say, if the mandate set by Congress is to get the US inflation data below 2%, well, right now, it is not below 2%. It's at 2.04. Now, I mean, that's a brilliant number compared to what it is in the UK, which is 4.2. And we're just like, oh, it's fine. Just spend some more money. Like, who cares? Don't worry about it. Price of bread's how much? £6 a loaf. Yeah, we're bullish on Warburton's bread being £6. We don't care here. We don't care. That's my opinion anyway. That's my opinion. We did try. I'm so sorry, everyone. Nightlife. Honestly, do you, bro? Do you? That's the last I'm going to speak of it. Do you? If you're selling, crack on. Don't get the contract address wrong. Otherwise, you're going to sell to somebody else. Go and focus on selling, and come and let me know in 4 weeks how it's going on. Right. Good. Nadar's here, Nemo's here, Daniel Stewart, welcome. I know us as Massive Choppers. What's going on, buddy? Welcome to you. As always, we've got everyone in the house as well. If you're brand new here, by the way, I live stream 6 days a week, keeping you absolutely dialed into the market, making sure that your portfolio is certainly doing what it should be. Right. So Bitcoin nearly at 117, bouncing back a little bit. We see BTC dominance coming up. There is some key things to think about on a macro side of things. By the way, ETFs continue to look very strong. Over 1,339 purchased by BlackRock. Fidelity buying 621. Another big day in the markets, but buying Bitcoin. If you believe Bitcoin's over, then crack on. That's my opinion. Slightly slower day yesterday, no surprise. But I absolutely expect a solid day buying back in this market for sure, given the fact that we are now seeing a potential dip on the market. If you think about it, if we can rally back to what would we get back up to? 117.8 would basically negate everything Jerome Powell talked about. And gets into a world where everyone's just kind of like, oh, I don't really care what Jerome Powell says. Who cares? Because what he's talking about. He's a lawyer, not an economist. Right. Anyway, good to see you, Holmes. Welcome. Vuta, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to you as well. Stu's in the house. Good to see you, man. Still uncertain what tariffs will bring and what is really the... Yeah, I agree. We'll touch on that. So, I've not really got loads of crazy stuff other than a couple of bull charts that I thought were worthwhile just touching on, which is this. Long-term holders, again, 53% of supply despite recent distribution. So, long-term holders still absolutely holding down their bags, holding the floor when it comes to the price of Bitcoin. We see this continually being strong. And again, this would be a good narrative and indicator to tell us exactly what is going on in the market. So super bullish. Right. Let's talk about the obvious. The elephant in the room, the giant chopper that is Mr. Jerome Powell. Now, by the way, it is worth noting, and I do actually have the official document that was released. It is worth noting here that 2 members of the FOMC did actually decide to cut rates. It wasn't unanimous, right? It wasn't unanimous, but it is important, by the way, to go through Mr. Jerome Powell and really get an understanding as to exactly why he is like he is. Just FYI, TikTok, look at Jerome Powell. Look at him. Absolute chopper. Too late, Powell. So, yeah. All good news. So what do we get in terms of a summary? Well, look, let's break down a couple of key things. So he indicated inflation slightly exceeds the target. he was very mindful of to not dispute what is going on down here. Man, see, you can tell I'm an old man. I've got my slippers. Man, slippers are the way forward. If you guys don't have slippers, by the way, you should have. So, again, he talked about inflation slightly exceeding the target. Remember, his mandate, the basic job that he has is to get inflation under 2% and ensure there is a healthy labour market. Powell states that despite uncertainties, the economy remains robust. And actually, when you look at it, GDP growth, what I thought was interesting in his speech today, which is where I got to the narrative of this was just a massive middle finger to Donald Trump, is he referenced a couple of things that he's never referenced before. And more importantly, he referenced things that almost don't make sense. So, for example, he was very specific around the economy. He said, well, GDP growth slowed year over year for the first quarter of this year. Okay, well, you cut rates before the first time of this year. So when you talk about fiscal years, he cut rates before he went into it. So he's like, well, yeah. And then he kind of talked about how GDP in the US was mega. It was like 3%. It's ridiculous. But his view was, yeah, but actually it's 3% growth on a declining market. So that's where he got his little bit. So obviously you've got Trump at one side going, this is like the greatest economy in the world. It's going to be super, super mental. We've got more money flowing into us. I think he said this quote today, more money coming to the US than we actually ever thought we would get. We don't know what to do with it. And you've got Jerome Powell going, yeah, but it's still on a shit market. So, well, that was kind of one of the things that he hedged against and I guess allows him to do it. We'll take a look at the full policy in a minute. Powell says, despite uncertainties, the economy remains robust. Absolutely. We also got Powell believes the policy stance adequately positions for timely interventions. Now, he did not, and this is important to reference here, by the way, he did not give any indication that a potential rate cut in September is coming. And actually, when you look at the CME Fed numbers, it took a 10% dump, which isn't great, by the way. He really didn't tee anything up for September. In fact, saying that they would wait, they will absolutely work the data out. So the two things to look at, job performance over the course of the next 8 weeks, CPI, PCE, and PPI are going to be all the key indicating reports that we need to decide whether a rate cut's coming in September. And actually right now, it has flipped in the point where the rate cuts are now no longer expected, which is definitely not what we were expecting. So this is obviously 45%. This has been strong all the time we've been talking. No longer. There could actually be, which would be freaking insane, no rate cuts in September. Selmo, thanks for the 5. Appreciate it. Says Jerome said, steady as she blows. He absolutely did. Do you think SEC is going to drop it tomorrow? Drop what tomorrow? Oh, the Ripple case. Maybe. I hope so. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point, but yeah, you'd hope so. So yeah, Powell highlighted the moderate growth reflects the deceleration in consumer spending. This is where he pivoted back to tariffs, saying, well, actually consumers are spending less. Remember, economies thrive on people spending money. And Powell observes that many indicators show the job market is close to maximum employment. So it actually was pretty bullish on the market of jobs, doing a good job. He actually talked about the fact that you saw a decline in job openings, but a decline in jobless claims, which generally is net. It doesn't really make any difference. It does show a slight slowing in the economy of that particular country, especially a Western country as well. So that was another thing. He forecast 2.5% increase in PCE and 2.7% in core inflation, which again is anything minus things like food and volatile assets, which we kind of expected. We thought that would come in. And again, pivoted back to potential tariffs and all that kind of stuff. David Jones in the building. What's going on, buddy? Welcome. Appreciate you. Do, by the way, share the stream. That would be great if you could. I'd really appreciate it. He also talked about most long-term inflation expectations are in line with the Fed targets. And he talked about this a number of times, that the tariff implication could be and should be a one-time price impact. Okay, well, that's fine. Price it in, move on. I think most tariff deals have been done, barring maybe China that we were sort of hoping we were going to get. But, you know, that's kind of where we sit. Powell's reasonable outlook is that he expects tariff inflation to be short-lived. That's what we just talked about. And he plans to conclude the policy review by the end of summer. And again, don't forget, there's now nothing until September 17th when we get the next rate cut decision. And also, Powell is anticipating getting more insights in the coming months as he's reached no decision. The official statement is here, by the way. It says, although swings in net exports continue to affect the data, recent indications suggest that growth of the economic activity moderated in the first half of the year. F you, Mr. Trump. The unemployment remains low and labor market conditions remain solid. Inflation remains somewhat elevated, which is very marginal depending on what you look at. Depending very marginal when you look at this. Obviously an independent view, but it's going to be in around the 2.4, 2.04, 2.1, something like that. When you walk it through, the committee seeks to achieve maximum employment, blah, 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 blah. And you heard kind of what he talked about. The committee is strongly committed to supporting maximum employment, returning inflation to its 2% goal. Okay, all of that's great. what you get here is this. Voting for the monetary policy action was Jerome H. Powell, Chair, John C. Williams, Vice Chair, Michael blah, 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 blah. And then you get down the bottom here where it says voting against this action were Michelle W. Bowman, Trump appointed, we said that, and Christopher J. Waller, both of which have publicly said they should cut rates, who preferred to lower the target rate for the federal funds rate by a 0.25 percentage point at this meeting. Absent and not voting was Adriana D. Kluger. So the reality here is that I think out of the 9 people, 2 voted no, 1 wasn't there. So you only get 5 that actually said yes. Is that right? 5, 2, 3, 1 wasn't there, 4. Yeah. So you get 5 or maybe 6 that voted yes, 2 voted no, 1 didn't go. Doing a makeup or error or something. So this is the first time we actually see a slight shift in the total federal funds decision, right? So not everybody was aligned, not everyone agreed. And yeah, that kind of is where I get to with that. So look, it's a nothing burger. Really, the fact Jerome Powell was super weird, like super weird with his chats, tells us that actually he was just, in my opinion, by the way, and this is only my opinion for what it's worth, I absolutely think he was doing a big middle finger to Donald Trump. He was even asked about it in the meeting, and then it was like, you know, what was the Trump visit like? Oh, it was great to have the president. We don't normally get a president who wants to tour a building. Like, that was like the first, like, dig in the ribs. And then at the end, when they asked him about would he stay on for his next term, and it was like, nope, see ya. Shut his binder and walked off. The only thing he didn't do was drop a mic. So, which is probably why we're seeing a bit of a reaction now in the market back to the upside, as many people sort of get, I think, getting to this place where you go, well, maybe that he was just a bit of a dickhead and actually it's kind of all right. So you can see how that played out over the course of it. Basically, we got the funds rate decision was around here. Nothing really happened. Priced in as always. And then obviously Jerome Powell started speaking about here. Jezza, come on. The Q's dropped and everything else dropped as well. So like I said, pretty bearish at the time. However, market's bouncing back relatively okay, I think, as people understand maybe a bit more as to what was in there. And I think the fact that Jerome allowed his emotion to control him in this one, I think that's my view anyway. That's my view. So like I said, if you got any questions or any thoughts, then let me know. How much lower are we going? 30%? What from now? From where Bitcoin is? 117 down 30%? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. There's too much accumulation going on right now. Too many big companies are buying it. It's, yeah, I don't think so. That's my opinion, by the way. Again, I could be wrong. Remco says, Powell replied that analysis of data for the next 2 months might be too soon, which I translate to no rate cut in September. Yeah, I mean, they've just adjusted it now to potentially not get a rate cut in September. So again, we will have to wait and see what happens. Again, market's kind of rallying back on the upside though. Certainly risk assets may actually favor slightly better than what we see generally in, traditional markets. But yeah, overall arching, very much, I guess, a middle finger to Trump, and we're not doing whatever you want. Even if you try and bully me, I think what'll be interesting is if there's a statement come out from Trump. So that was the first thing. That was the first super exciting thing that we got today that ended up being a total nothing burger. Really, really. The macro side of things, there was quite a few bits going on. Now, what was kind of crazy is this, and I'm not going to break down 166 pages of the Strengthening American Leadership in Digital Financial Technology. I'm just going to take you to page 164, because 164 is pretty interesting, right? 164, here we go. This is where we cement the US leadership through a Bitcoin strategic reserve and a US digital asset stockpile. Now, a couple of people freaked out about this. They were like, oh, doesn't say Treasury. They're not going to buy it. They're not going to buy it. And then it's like, oh, yeah, actually, it's the Treasury that's going to buy it. Freaking noobs. Anyway, I just thought I'd touch on this and a couple of key other bits that are important in it. So this details exactly what the regulatory framework is, and more importantly, aligns itself to things like the Genesis Act and the stablecoin bill that passed, last week or the week before. Under President Trump's executive order number 14178, the working group shall evaluate the potential creation and maintenance of a national digital asset stockpile and propose criteria for establishing such a stockpile, potentially derived from cryptocurrencies lawfully seized by the US government through its law enforcement efforts. On March 6, 2025, the President issued an executive order 14233, which confirmed the expanded in this derivative to provide that the policy in the United States to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve, noted, by the way, in this document is called the reserve, and the United States digital asset stockpile, also noted as the stockpile. So what did they say? How did it come out and what was the view? Well, the consistent with the framework established, these executive orders says the reserve and stockpile will be administered by Treasury, which will establish an office to administer and maintain control of the associated custodial accounts. Good news, right? The reserve and stockpile will be capitalized by forfeited digital assets. In other words, digital assets owned by the US government. Great. That means they can't sell them. That's a positive. Can't do a Germany or a UK. However, forfeited digital assets needed to satisfy statutory objectives will continue to be used for these objectives, including the compensating indefinable and verifiable victims of crime. So this was one thing that I don't think a lot of people expected. And I don't know what I think. Chat, let me know what you guys think about this. I don't really know kind of what I think of it, to be totally honest. If you are seen to be a victim of digital asset crime, then they will use some of this stockpile to potentially pay you back. I don't actually think that's a bad idea. How that is then managed, facilitated, and done, I'm not really 100% certain, but I guess the sentiment is kind of a good thing. And the Bitcoin in the reserve will generally not be sold, but will be maintained as a reserve asset in the United States, utilized to meet government objectives in accordance with applicable law. Treasury and Commerce will develop strategies that could be used to acquire additional Bitcoin for the reserve in ways that the budget neutral and do not impose incremental costs to the United States taxpayer. This is all very bullish news, by the way. So I think maybe we get, I mean, it's not going to be now, but maybe we get a little, a little announcement or something on the back of it. Custody will be studied by the Treasury and Commerce in order to safeguard the assets of the United States. Okay, cool. So when you kind of break this down, it's a bit like we want to do it. We think it's a good idea. We have the framework and we have some regulation that we can support by building this out. So let's do it. And it's interesting right now. Bitcoin is rallying, actually. I mean, we might mitigate all the Fed dumperinos, which is kind of good, which may be an indication that something a bit more bullish is coming. I think we still need to wait on the Friday jobs report, really, but that could be pretty tasty. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when it comes in that. But like I said, all in general, a pretty good summary of that. There's a couple of other things as well. So you've got things like miscellaneous recommendations, recommends the relevant agencies develop principle-based requirements and standards for approach to digital assets. Again, relevant agencies considered measures to increase information sharing on possible threats. Okay, that makes sense. You've also got things like public-private partnerships. They actually talk about distributed ledgers, hardware wallets, coldware wallets, all sorts of crazy stuff in here. It's a pretty big thing as well, and a pretty big deal with lots to it. Like I said, there's 166 pages of it all. But pretty bullish indeed. If you think about this, is a US government-based document that has got things like, oh, software wallet and hardware wallet. Again, that's pretty bullish. Oh, they talk about Chainlink. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's pretty bullish, isn't it? The only problems that I thought maybe we got would be XRP, just to, all those knobheads that'll put it all over Twitter going, oh, the digital asset report says about XRP. It doesn't. Unfortunately, right? You can hate me if you want. It doesn't, right? Simple as that. It does not say XRP. So unfortunately, it is not in that place. It also doesn't say Casper. So if anyone was curious about whether it said Casper, then it doesn't at all. If anyone's curious, it doesn't say HBAR. It doesn't say Cardano. It doesn't say anything of the altcoins. Like, what the freaking hell? Trump Arena. Oh, it does say Cardano. No, it doesn't. It doesn't say Cardano. It doesn't say. I thought it did then for a second. But it's because it's got metadata and adoption. Oh my God, that would be crazy if it actually said Cardano. Imagine it said Cardano. I'd be like, sell everything. Get me Charles Hoskins on the phone right now. Stat. So yeah, anyway. And if there's any other words that you want me to check, then I can. But yeah, the reality is that's you. SK-Cams, it's 100% on you. Everything is absolutely hunky-dory at my end. FYI, some statistics. I'm streaming over 7,000 kpbs and I haven't dropped a singular frame, bro. So it's definitely you, unfortunately. Definitely you. M's on Chains in the building. What's going on, M's? Good to see you. Hey, Christine27. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome in. Again, don't forget, guys, make sure you're engaging. Does support the channel. Make sure we're hyped up. This is the first of 2 live streams, by the way. When this one finishes, half an hour later, I've got a special guest joining me. So, yeah, get ready for it. It's going to be super bullish. Super bullish. Shabs, what's going on, bud? Tariffs will only hurt American consumers, poor and middle class. Yeah, I mean, we've seen it come through. CPI data did indicate there's a little bit in there. So, yeah, we'll see. I think it'll be interesting to see what a Trump response looks like. Whether he does, I'm just kind of watching any, you know how I like to bring you the most up-to-date and breaking news as it happens. So I'm just keeping an eye on some of the news sources to make sure that if there is a announcement from Mr. Trump, we've got it all. I don't necessarily think he would. There's some bull posting. Scott Bessent saying that, crypto is going to the moon. We've got a couple of others. So yeah, the White House crypto and blockchain technology can revolutionize America's financial system. Nice. I'm bullish on that for sure. I am bullish on that. So yeah, we'll keep an eye peeled. If anything does come through, I think it's going to be important. Anyway. Hi. Will he definitely drop rates in September? No, Gary. I definitely might not. I think it's the best way of putting it. The view was that we were going to see that rate cut. He didn't tee anything up, talk about anything up, give any indication that he could cut rates in September. You're going to have to watch in terms of CPI, which, by the way, I cover every time that breaks on this channel. I also keep you dialed in terms of what's happening in the macroeconomic side of things when it comes to the digital assets as well. So I think it's important to look at those reports, particularly that jobs report on Friday is going to be a key one. 2-bit summarized for me what happened. Didn't cut rates, doesn't like tariffs, stuck a middle finger up at Donald Trump, isn't going anywhere, and might not cut rates in September. Uncertainty in the market. Labour market, we think, might be a little bit ropey on Friday. Federal funds rate is remaining, and interest rates are slightly above where they want to get to, which is their 2% mandate. I think that pretty much sums it up pretty quickly, in fairness. So yeah, that is that. By the way, Bitcoin is kind of having a nice little move right now. So if you did buy the bottom, congrats. If you went long here at 115,864, you absolutely crushed it. You effing crushed it. So good job. Good job. Aaron Murphy, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it, my man. Welcome to the club. It is a very unique club, by the way. It's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it. Oh, Wendio joined. What's going on, Wendio? Welcome. Oh, I just want to be friends. I wonder if it's actually the real Wendio. Maybe it is. Anyway, I think you've missed the biggest cause of the dump. And have I? What have I missed? Fake jobs report got me a suit waiting for my interview and job. Super, thank you. You got nicely. So basically another opportunity to accumulate. Yeah, I think so, Al. I think so. Unless you're Nightlife, who is selling everything he's got because he thinks the market's done. What have I missed out, Holmes? You got me intrigued. TikTok case. Justin, what's going on, pal? Lauren Bab, welcome. I don't know if I said hello to you. VRA, have a nice week. Keep going. Let's go. What did Orange Nobben do? He hasn't done anything. I think Jerome Powell's done it. I think old Jezza dumped the market like a giant chopper, but hey, has Holmes done that thing again where he comes in, drops a truth bomb and then goes, is the copper tariffs big? Was it 50% on Brazilian imports? I don't think copper is dumping, but you think that's affecting Bitcoin? I don't think so. When did he announce the copper tariffs? It was like 2 hours ago, wasn't it? Hold on. Is it Brazil, yeah? Copper is massive, bro. Of course, that's the biggest reason, surely. I mean, maybe. I mean, I've literally haven't heard anything. US copper price stumbled President Trump's surprise market by exempting refined material from steep new tariffs and metal. White said on Wednesday it would impose a 50% tariff levies on semi-finished products such as copper pipes and wires, so-called derivative products such as the US excluded input materials such as copper ores and concentrates. So basically, if you import finished copper products, you are paying a 50% tariff on it, right? Is that what he's saying? And that got announced. When did that get announced? When did that get announced? It's not on ores and stuff, is it? It's just on the bit. Well, maybe. I guess maybe. What is copper actually doing, by the way? Is it worth looking at it? All copper is. Ooh, blush. So that came in at what? 7 o'clock. Oh, yeah, I guess maybe. Do you reckon it was like in retaliation to Jezza not dumping it? Do you reckon because Jezza was like, nah, mate. Trump's like, right, that's it. Maybe if Jerome Powell owns, in fact, let's find out. Does Jerome Powell own a copper company? What's going on, Vern? Does Jerome Powell own a copper company? No, he doesn't, by the way. Jerome Hayden Powell. That's his name. What's going on, Vern? Good to see you, man. Don't forget, I'm going to be live with Vern a little bit after this show. So, yeah, I guess, is it that big a thing? I feel like it's not that big a thing, but I'm not really into all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'm all about cryptocurrency. It's a knock-on effect in so many industries. Yeah, I guess so. Copper against BTC. Remember we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, bro. Good indicator. Yeah. I mean, it hasn't. Oh, I'm on the 5-minute chart. Jesus Christ. Right, there we go. That kind of makes a bit more sense, doesn't it? Right, there we go. Yeah, copper took a massive dump. Bitcoin, though, is rallying back to the upside. So maybe, people don't really care. I guess we have to see. How it plays out. But yeah, bad on my part. I didn't even realize copper had done a massive dumperino. Bad news, eh? Bad news. Right, good. We'll keep a close eye on what's going on here. I want to keep an eye on what's going on with BTC, but that kind of gives you a bit of an idea. So federal boards, we know what it is. I'm going to keep this open because I want to do some content on this. I think we'll break it down in a bit more detail. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to hear a bit about more of that. And let's do a little bit on the news front, which I think is worthwhile. JP Morgan partnering with Coinbase. Biggest scrap in copper's history, is it really? I mean, maybe we should look at this in a bit more detail then. ETH coming back. Yeah, the whole market feels like it's coming back a little bit. 17,335. So, yeah, pretty good. So, what's the next catalyst? Oh, my God. What the hell was that? Scared me to death then. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate it. JP Morgan partners with Coinbase, letting millions of Chase customers buy crypto instantly. So, you've got PayPal now supporting this in terms of payments. You've also now got JP Morgan getting involved in this, and specifically with Coinbase, well, which is kind of good news as well. So, I think we get maybe some sort of catalyst with banks. Maybe the next CPI data report is a good one. I think an announcement of any kind specific to cryptocurrency could be good news. Whether we'll get that or not. I mean, there's been a little bit. Scott Besson, you know, Bo Hines, all that kind of stuff. Whether we actually see them buy anything, I thought we might have maybe had a nod towards that, but it doesn't look like it. M2 Supply, still want to watch. So it plays the cheap entries. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate that. For copy S in general, not so much. Okay, yeah. XRP will be 10K in November, guys. You heard it here first. Jay Burns in the building. BTC top Q1 2027 out. You see, yeah. Anyway, JP Morgan, look at this. Tokenized deposits on base backed by the 1-to-1 US dollar. Don't forget, that stablecoin bill that went through means that they have to be audited, they have to be checked, and they have to back it 1-to-1. So, yeah, pretty interesting that that's happening. I think that could be good news as well, and certainly could play out favorably towards what we're looking for. So, good. Right, let's keep an eye on here. Let's go back to the 5-minute chart, just so we can keep an eye on the old chart arena. Just, it's a bit more fun, isn't it? It's a bit more fun, and we'll keep an eye on the news as well. So, yeah, good. 6 more tomatoes. Is that what it takes? I don't even know what that means. M2 isn't the only indicator to watch, bro. No, it's not as strong an indicator as people are making out. I think global M2s, it's okay, isn't it? I think it's okay. I think you want to look at specific countries if you want to, like, for example, if Zimbabwe or Nigeria or something are printing trillions of dollars, like, who the hell cares? Like, they're not going to do anything. But the fact that we're seeing the US trying to reduce that federal balance sheet, I think is important. And the fact that therefore I didn't mean to do that. The fact that that's then going to support both the reduction in cost and, more importantly, hopefully supports the tariffs. So, yeah, fingers crossed that will move forward. If no cut in September, this market, at least altcoins are done. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Did you see the Ondo news? Is that the one around the Treasuries one? Is it the Treasuries one? OUSG, is it? Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it's this one here, look. So, Ondo Finance turns US Treasuries into 24/7 yield tokens with OUSG and USDY. Bullish. Did you see the Ondo news? Bunch of SP500 stocks seeing the e-scanner tokens recognized as Ondo tokenized. Ooh. Yeah, I like it. I think it's probably to do with this. Interoperable yield-bearing tokens that trade 24/7 across top blockchains. Let's go, baby. Shame that it's on a day where the markets took a bit of a hit. But yeah, Ondo Finance looking pretty crazy. It is down to that stuff as well. Where is it at right now? Ondo, I mean, it's at 95 cents right now. Feels like a freaking steal, bro. Feels like a steal. But yeah, this is going to be crazy, isn't it? Regulatory uncertainty, especially from US authorities, limits participation and shapes global strategy. So yeah, good news. Good news if you ask me. Baffle Me's in the building. What's going on, pal? Good to see you. Welcome as always, everyone tuning in. We appreciate you for sure. Like I said, you got any questions, thoughts, opinions, views, or anything else, just let me know in the chat. I'm not saying that I can answer them all, but I'll try my best. And yeah, we'll see. What's going on, 420? Good to see you. Cheese in the building as well. Good to see you. Welcome. Always good to have everybody in. So yeah, Ondo Finance looking great, by the way. I mean, if you look at the rest of the altcoin market, there's some opportunities in there. People were asking about this, weren't they, last week? Remember when the markets were going crazy? People were like, oh, I need to get into the markets. I need to buy in. We were like, just wait for a pullback. Like, just chill the f*** out. BNB now, 787. That's had a pullback. I mean, look at these opportunities we saw on this Wix. Like, this is kind of crazy, but definitely that opportunity on BNB. I think just a normal consolidation. Link at 17.5. Aethia looking very, very tasty at that price, which I think is good news. Dupe, by the way, they are releasing more and more stuff. They had their another pretty big call. Nothing that I thought was going to be super good, in terms of like, oh, we're doing rev share or whatever it is, which would have been great, by the way, but not at that point right now. But yeah, they're definitely They've got some pretty interesting Dupe Lend launches, I think, in like 2 days' time. So watch out for that. That could actually start to bring some more bullish news when it comes to that. And I actually think Dupe at 52 cents is pretty crazy. So they're going to push the meme narrative. I think there's going to launch pads and stuff coming out. It's the number 7 validator as well. I don't know if you've seen that. Phantom, by the way, is number 1, which is insane. But yeah. Pokemon says 2 bit my first crypto buy in 6 to 8 months. 2 bit under 90 cents. Let's go, Pokeball. Nice. I'm curious on some indicators for leverage trade. I'm trying to get towards that route. Okay. Ask away and I'll try and answer it. Another Powell masterclass. Feyenoord, what's going on? Oh, Powell, what the hell? What the hell, Powell? Just cut the freaking rates, bro. Anyway, it is a shame. It is a shame. But yeah, I will try and answer it. The best way to do it, though, Baffled, is I would just go and research absolutely to the max. By the way, 10,000 likes. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I saw that, Al. I saw you put that in the investment group. Obviously, I haven't checked it to see if it works, but yeah, I trust your judgment on it. Is liquidation back to a good strategy? Here would be my view when it comes to things like leverage trading. You need to have a culmination of a number of things. Market intuition, understanding technicals. You need to, some of the things I would look at would be MACD trends. You've got RSI trends, liquidations to a degree, but you're hedging your views then on whether the market makers are going to try and get it or not. You got to look at macro factors, and then you've got to understand what you're trading with. It's a risky game, just to be super clear. You can lose all your money super fast on leverage trades, so just be really, 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 really mindful. Really, really mindful, in my opinion. GC the coach, what's going on? Welcome. Yeah, I mean, let me know, and I'll drive over and meet you. Yorkshire, baby. 10,000 likes now. That can have a move to... Shut up, Lauren. Anyway. Love getting big weekly dividend paid by BXTY Bitcoin ETF. Getting paid big every week. Nice. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds good. Sounds good. Remo, I think you meant to put dupe there. I saw it. You deleted it, but I saw it. But yeah, if you are going to leverage trade, just be really mindful. The best way to do it is low margin, low leverage until you get used to it, or you can predict it. Equally, you can get onto TradingView and you can use like practice accounts, but please be super careful. You can lose so much money in such a short period of time with leverage trading. I know loads of people like to tell you that they've gone crazy, and James Wynn's a perfect example of that, where he's like, oh, look at me, I've got like $100 million position. Yeah, he's got no money left, and I still think he's a plant for Hyperliquid. But anyway, you can lose everything super quick, so you got to be careful. Got to be careful. Worthwhile noting. By the way, I still have a couple of trades open. They are doing pretty well. They're doing okay, actually. I did actually open an XRP long. Did I show you this last night? Can't remember. But yeah, open an XRP long as well. From, I think I got the 211. So yeah, a little bit down on this XRP trade at 211. Currently down about 2%. And then the BTC trade at 117.1 would have been good to increase some margin, but I was putting the kids to bed. So, but yeah, those two trades are rocking and rolling. So hopefully they do pretty well. By the way, on BITUNIX, if you are interested, they are doing a brilliant offer. You can get bonus discounts. You can get fee reductions. Go and sign up. Link in the description. Definitely worth your time. Highly recommend it for sure. So, yeah, good news. Right. Let's keep an eye on what's going on with this. We've done JP Morgan. If you guys have got any questions, feel free to ask. We've done this. We've done this. We've done Tomato Pete's picture. Trueflation we've done. And Ondo we've done. Man, we're cracking through this live stream, aren't we? We're keeping it moving. We're keeping it bullish. We just need to see a little bit more momentum in the markets. A little bit more upside would be good. This is the 15-minute. So still printing slightly on the reds, but hey. It's all fun and games, if you ask me. It's all fun and games. GC, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. I said a few days ago XRP could drop to $3. That's true. I think you actually said a little bit higher than that, and it was Craig that said 3. But I'm not hurting you. Michelle, what's going on? Welcome to the live. Appreciate you being here. Let's pump it, everybody. You know what to do. You know what to do, you massive set of legends. Yeah, we got... what we got here, like nearly 100 people on YouTube, and we've also got, did he say hi? We've got a few people in the TikTok live as well, so shout out to everybody that's tuning in. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Today's circle has minted 750 million USDC. That's interesting. XDC on Binance and Coinbase soon. Yeah, I saw that. Pretty good news. Dupe Lend is a beta release. Yeah, there's quite a bit going out. They've got Lend, they've got a few other bits as well. So yeah, it could be good news if you ask me. We'll see. I hope they do some sort of like redistribution to holders. That would be good news if they did that. It'd be pretty naff if they didn't, but hopefully they do. Fingers crossed. Right, let's just take a quick look at Ethereum. What's Ethereum now? Ethereum broke back above this line we've been talking about. We actually did it the other day. So back above this resistance line, looking like it might retest now at 3,770. So if we can get a bounce off that, that would be good news. That would be good news as we then, you know, go into August. So July 31st tomorrow, and then boom, we're into August, baby. Could be interesting for sure. Eric, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it, man. All the new followers coming in right now. You guys are super bullish. Love it, by the way. Love it. If you do enjoy cryptocurrency content, remember 6 days a week I'm live and I post every day on this platform. I'm trying to keep you guys dialed into this market. Also, if you've got friends or family that are interested, curious, or maybe just have some questions, then, you know, we'll try and answer them. So do share the stream with as many people as you can. That would be great. Just like Mr. BitsBlaze said. So yeah. How high do you think Ondo will go, man? I mean, I got you covered. I got you guys covered. Do you know what I mean? I got something for you guys and it's coming soon. And I talk about it all in a recent video, baby. So that, I just need to, I probably will release it a bit later on tonight. So you guys just keep an eye on it. But yeah, it's worth your time. It's, wait, I'm going to show you the thumbnail though, because the thumbnail's, the thumbnail's cool as. Let me show you the thumbnail. You're going to love it. Look at this. Oh, shit. There you go. TikTok, do you want to see it as well? Look. There you go, look. There you go. So I've got the, it basically is going to talk you through what I think some of the top prices are going to be this cycle and where they're going to go. So, yeah, watch out for that video dropping. It'll be live on my YouTube channel. Pretty much a little bit later on, probably about an hour after, probably an hour after we stream. So yeah, look out for that. But that's going to break down where I think certain prices of things are going to be, where I think maybe markets are going to be, and why, by the way. I do actually break down specifically why I think that's happening. So look out for that. If it wasn't for doing this market would have turned to shit. You're propping us up, bro. Thanks, Al. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Love it, by the way. Why did you... Hold on a minute. Why did you use my car as your thumbnail? You said it was fine, Blazer. You were like, hey, bro, you can use it. Cold Square, what's going on? Where's the alpha? It's here every single night. What do you want to know? What do you want to know? The latest coins, the altcoin market, what's happening with Bitcoin, where the best position is? It's up to you. Screaming. It's a bit harsh. A bit harsh. Depends what you want to know. If you've come here for me to tell you what cryptocurrency you can buy, then you come to the wrong channel. But if you got a question, maybe a thought, maybe you're like, what the hell happened with the market? I got you covered, bro. I got you covered. I actually saw one the other night, Tim, as well, by the way. You've got me self-conscious now, Cold Square. I feel like I should just be talking a bit boring. But anyway, I don't care. I'm only kidding, by the way. As in the Hoover, Cold Square, or not? Baffle says, where am I positioning myself on ETH, bro? What do you mean? As in, what are you looking like? As in looking to get into a play on ETH? I mean, it's hard to say right now. Market's super volatile. You probably want to play momentum on this. Again, not financial advice. It never is on this channel. But what you can see... Oh, you can't see it. Hold on a minute. Just scroll you around. What you can see here is this key line here. This blue line that we've got is a key line of resistance and equally has become support. Now, we did actually break through as a support line to make it become resistance. You're looking for potential breakout above this range, which could then, in line with the rest of the market, start to push to the upside. If you take a Fibonacci retracement number, you can see that it very much aligns there and near enough to the 382 Fibonacci. So if you were looking to trade this, look at what happens with this line. If we break down a little bit for you, look at entry point, potentially at 236 at 3739. Again, this isn't financial advice, but that's where we could go. Equally, at the 3739, you'd argue it's a relatively solid support from where we had momentum to the upside from there. If we were to go upside, then yeah, you want to see it, make sure it confirms over 3778. Once again, though, please be mindful. It is, you could lose all your money, right? Important. Important. Nice, Cold Square. I like it. Bullish on you. I didn't do that. If that helps, by the way. I don't know if it does, but I didn't do it. Thoughts on Black Hole and AVAX? Never heard of it. Tibit, where's the market cycle top and how much? Well, my predictions have always been the same, about 150 to 185. I know that's a 35 grand swing, but that's where I think it's going to go. And you guys know I have it on the charts. Cycle, first one, first one's here, look. August 18th, and then I don't think I've put my October one in yet. October 25th. Shall I put it in now? October... Oops, I did not mean to do that. October 25th. Can I not? Oh, what is it? What's going on here? Is it because I've got logarithmic scale? Can I not go to October? Why can't I go to October? There we go. And then there you go. There you go. Hopefully that makes people feel a bit better. Hopefully that makes people feel a bit better. Right, let's go on the 15-minute and see what's happening with BTC. Let's stick with it and see where we get to with that. Jesse Blockchain's in the house. What's going on? Welcome. Thanks, Cold Square. Yeah, hey, look, if I could do that on a trade, I'd be super bullish on that for sure. Did you look into Chainbase? I did not, mate, if I'm honest. I apologize. I had a chance. But I should do, really. That was a very posh English accent there for a second. You fell out of character, bro. Remember, you are pretending to be a Yorkshireman. My missus is posh. 4,200 ETH possible soon. Yeah, look, I think ETH's the next big mover, and I think ETH will push. And I think once we see something like a 4.5 to 5K Ethereum, maybe even a little bit higher, I think you'll then see a rotation back into some of these big altcoins, and I think you'll start to see things moving. That's when the debate will come in around things like, is Cardano going to make a move this cycle? Are we going to see Chainlink go crazy? You know, as some of the ISO 222 coins finally going to print new all-time highs. I think Ethereum is the big one now. That's why I think so many companies and big treasury companies are buying. I've been saying it for ages. Treasury companies are what you need to keep an eye on. There's debates going on right now for Solana treasury companies, XRP treasury companies. I even saw a Sui treasury company the other day, which is kind of crazy. So this kind of jostling in the market to see who can get into stuff first is pretty interesting. And I think, you know, we'll see which one wins. That's the reality of it. That is the reality of it. So, yeah, again, we will see. Good. Right, nothing else good over there. Don't know what that means. Anyway. Thoughts on what? Thoughts on chauvinism? No idea. Is that actually a coin? Yeah, Big Al. Honestly, I'm tired today. I've been super busy. Lots of stuff going on at work. Lots of stuff going here. Trying to just, you know, keep hyped in terms of content creation. Just making it happen, Al. You know how it is. Don't get a lot of time to myself, but, you know, it's all fine. I heard of Pump Fund Treasury. No way, Curtis. Get out of here. What's Pump Fund doing? Memes. Oh, Pump Fund's actually doing all right, in fairness. Considering where this has been, I know we're on the 15-minute, but actually it was kind of doing all right. Bonk chucked out a bit of an opportunity earlier on. 2.8. Again, that's a nice little entry. I talked about this line yesterday. Said it might wick all the way down to 2.8. Look at that. Perfectly hit. That's exactly what we talked about. So, yeah, Brett's moving a little bit, though. That's up, and Pepe down just a touch. So, yeah, Pump Fund. You look at the metrics on that, like, Bonk Fund's where it's at right now. Whether that'll change, whether the market matures, whether everyone goes back to Pump Fund, but I've been hearing loads of stuff about them just dumping on people, so I'm not really sure it's going to, but anyway, we'll see. We will see, by the way. But, yeah, rest of the market looks terrible. Anyway, well, not terrible. It's probably not. It's probably a bit of an unfair statement. It's fine. We appreciate the work you do for us all. The alpha is top-notch. Sometimes even the TA. Thanks, Al. I don't use the dragon pattern or the other thing you sent me, which I'm not going to say because I'm live on TikTok and on YouTube, but you get my point. Tsunami token last night was a quick money. It's all timing. I mean, that's true as well. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? Like, I mean, I thought there'd be some sort of Fed coin, but yeah. Charles Olsen's got his hands full once the regulation passes. Don't sleep on my guy, 100%. Yeah, look, I've said, and I think Cardano with stable coins could be crazy. A little bit like Litecoin. If Litecoin kind of gets something going, then maybe they have a chance this bull market. But yeah, I'm not like super crazy bullish on it. Yeah, but where is Bonk likely to go? I've seen technicals says it's going to go lower. Yeah, maybe. Maybe Bonk could go a little bit lower. I mean, it's got good backing, but yeah, I mean, right now it's at a key level. You see it break. Where does it come to down here? 2-3 maybe. You know, 2-3 could be the next one if this line breaks where it is right now. So, yeah, where are we at? You know, so I think if it breaks that line, you're down here somewhere, aren't you? You're down at this range, which could be pretty interesting. So we'll see. The only thing Carl's has been sleeping on is a shower. Get him, Holmes. Litecoin needs a defibrillator. Yeah, Litecoin. It's just full of like Litecoin maxis that just kind of come out every bull market. They're like, oh, Litecoin still exists. Oh, guys, I thought you guys are gone. And they're like, no, we like SHA-250. I don't know why they'd be chavvy, but you get my point. Litecoin Dynamite, I can't believe it's still been traded. Yeah, honestly, Litecoin's kind of got something. It's like a super crazy maxi place, isn't it? Like OG Litecoin investors are still OG Litecoin investors. They've just decided to never change anything. So look, it might have an opportunity, it might not. We'll see. Yeah, that's just my opinion anyway, in the short term. In the short term, let's take a quick look while we are here, by the way, at some liquidation data. I think it'd be important because I think we've seen some pretty big moves on the longs, $349 million liquidated out of the markets. Obviously, thanks, Jerome Powell. It's all about supporting the labor market and everything else, isn't it? You're doing a good job. Chopper. Can't believe Charles my age, but looks like, yeah, he's crazy, isn't he? Old Charlie H. So what we can see here, by the way, people believe the market's a little bit short, which, again, probably not a bad thing. Probably not a bad thing. If you people are still a little bit more bearish, means that the upsides can be a little bit stronger. So a lot of people sticking low leverage in, by the way. Orange being, well, in fact, a lot of people going big leverage, actually. Holy crap, look at that. 100x leverage, 32.7 million. Like, are these guys crazy? Cumulative long liquidation levels. So if we see the push down on price, like, could get pretty spicy, actually. We could see a really quick down on the price of Bitcoin. Some of these are way over leveraged. Let's take a look also at what is the hyper whales. They are all, well, pretty bullish, actually. Pretty bullish, up to around $1 million holdings, and then there's an indecisive and a slightly bearish at the top end of it. But generally speaking, we are optimistic of the market. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting, isn't it? And then in terms of whale trackers, many people are still bullish on Bitcoin, Ethereum. Where are they not bullish on? Fartcoin, I mean, that's kind of an obvious one. Pump Fund, that's an obvious one as well. Dogecoin, everyone seems to be going crazy on right now. Sui, people are super crazy. Sui, what's Pudgy Penguins? Let's bring the DeFi market up and take a look at it. DeFi market up. Thanks for the follows. Appreciate it. Hey, Feg Army's in the building. What's going on, bud? I haven't seen you for a while. Dipsy, what's going on? Welcome. Did everybody already like the stream? I don't know. I don't know, Jesse. Maybe I don't think they did, by the way. I don't think they did. I think you need to sort those mother truckers out. Right, what we're going to look at, I've totally forgot now. Pudgy Penguins. Al, I got a new mouse as well, by the way, bro. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's great. That's not... What's it called? Like Pengu or something? Yeah, here we go. Oh, man, this is coming down. Look at that. 2.75 billion. Might show an opportunity to get in. Yeah, look at that. Still crushing it with the mouse. It's great. And for the Corsair. If there's anyone from Corsair, by the way, you know my DMs are. To be what happened after the live X Space. We're not doing X Spaces anymore. We're going to be live again on TikTok. So come and join us. It's good. And I'll tell you the reason, Al. We did an X Space, and I think 11 people turned up, of which 10 of them were already from this channel. And then we did a TikTok one, and we got 1,000 people over the course of the hour. So yeah, we'll be on TikTok again after this stream. So about half an hour in between. So yeah, X Space, just annoying. I said this before. I've grinded X for 3.5 years to try and get my engagement going on there, and it's rubbish. It's as bad as it's ever been on that platform. So I can't be bothered with it. Whereas actually TikTok engagement is growing. So that's kind of where I'm going to. X can lose my engagement, shall we say. That's my opinion. Right, Pudgy Penguins. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Did wick down to around the 3.3 range. So, I mean, this is kind of one of those coins where you're like, this might have some pretty big opportunities to get involved in. Again, I'm not saying you should do. It's not financial advice, but there's lots of partnerships and stuff coming in for this. So, yeah, it could be a good one. Create a Discord and do Discord streams. Yeah, but you have to be in a world, I think, with Discord streams where you have to add an element of monetization. Otherwise, I might as well just do it on YouTube. But yeah. Redo a Discord too, but yeah, well, I said that. Just a dead simple Discord that is like, yeah, is where people can go to. I don't necessarily think that's a bad idea. I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea, but just keep it way simpler. The last one was like, they're so complicated. It was just like, oh my God, like, where do you even go? So yeah, you can literally join it from a browser, Al. You can just join it from a web browser. As opposed, you don't need to actually have it on the app. You can just literally, I'll post the link in the 𝗲𝗻𝗁𝗲 Telegram and in the Twitter one if you're interested in coming over. So, but it'd be good. And then Vern's joining me as well. So like I said, we'll just kind of get into a few bits and just chat. We'll just generally chit chat. That's kind of the view. And see where we get to. So yeah, We'll do 420. Again, the problem I have with a lot of this stuff is I just don't have the time to kind of run these things. So if people want to run them, I'm cool with them running it, but I just don't have time to do it. Maybe I can get in there and summit, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Joe, what's going on? Welcome to the live, as well as Mitso. I've got 15 bucks of Ethereum. What should I buy? What? A coffee? What do you mean? I mean, your name is sad as well. What do you mean? You've got $15 of Ethereum. What should you buy? I mean, literally, I mean, I don't know. 𝗥𝗲𝗃𝗵𝗵𝗀𝘀? Like, don't take this the wrong way, bro, but ain't going to do much, 15 bucks. And it depends what you need it for. Like, if you know, you could go super degenerate into a meme coin, but I'm pretty 99% certain you'll lose your money. Jesse said, maybe someone on Discord if you want me to. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll hit you up, Jesse. I've got you on X. So we'll say, Big Al says, if I had 50k dry powder, what would you tell me to buy? AVAX, Ondo, Sui, ETH. What else? What else? Bonk. And then I would maybe push the boat out a little bit and try and find some little lesser known projects that might actually do some good moves. Because I mean, I've talked about the Solana ecosystem. I think Solana is going to come back. I think many people are ignoring the opportunity with it. So Dupe, I think, is a steal at 52 cents. I don't care what people say. I think it's a steal at 52 cents. Yeah, that's where I would get to. That's where I would get to. I think some of those will do very, very well. Very well. I actually think memes could have another run. I think we could definitely see a little bit more running from memes. We'll have to see. Ethereum is a good micro cap. Nice. Curtis says you got 15 bucks of bits. I haven't. Chili's, is that a thing? Is Chili's even going still? Who the hell was it that kept buying Chili's? Was it me and Brian Dowie? I remember Brian Dowie who was buying into it. He loved it. Geez, I think it's you anyway. What's your prediction on BTC and which strategy do you use? I predict Bitcoin top to be in and around 150 to 185. And what strategy do I use? I've been in the market since 2017 and we've been planning this since the bear market of 2022. However, it is not a guaranteed plan. And yeah, I live stream 6 days a week. We as a collective community talk about the markets. We understand what's going on and we try and predict the best way for us to maximize our returns. I think that's the best way of doing it. So strategy is always, though, ladder in, ladder out. Don't ape in everything at once. Be mindful. Go in chunks, come out in chunks. I think it's a way to do it. So have set buy prices, set sell prices, and equally make sure you stick to whatever plan you agree. If you start getting into the hype and emotion of like, oh, I'm going to be super mega rich on this like $50 trade, you'll absolutely lose that. 100% you'll lose it. Remember, the market is designed to take your money. Just always bear that in mind. Always bear that in mind, in fact. Do you trade BTC? I mean, kind of. I wouldn't say it's like my thing. I have a full 9 to 5 job that I do as well as live stream 6 days a week and put content out every day. But I do occasionally. I've currently got 2 trades open right now. I've got an XRP long and a Bitcoin long, both of which got in at a reasonably good price. So we will see where they go to. Hopefully they do well. Hopefully they do well. Swoosh Trading, what's going on? Welcome. Appreciate you guys. And again, don't forget, if you can, keep tapping that screen, baby. Get engaging. We love it. We love it. And also, by the way, on YouTube, we've got nearly, 80 odd people in here. Just, do the old thing. Head down to the bottom of the screen. There's a big thumbs up. Give it a little tap. Love it. Thank you. And I've said send Craig, save sand for Craig. Have you seen this? I want to read this tweet, right? I'm going to read a tweet out to you guys. I saw it and I instantly thought of Craig and I'm like, man, Craig needs to hear this. Craig needs to hear it. Justin, China has not rejected investor demands and start buying lunk. Shut up. That's not true. Man, some people are wild on this platform. Like, some people are absolutely fucking crazy. Anyway, right, where was it? Here, look, this is, I love this tweet. Alex Becker, I think I told you guys before, I've sort of kind of started watching a little bit of his content. I don't particularly like his business channel, but his crypto content's pretty good. Says, most don't get it. It's how we will make big bucks. So listen, during the 2020 bull, most alt narrative didn't even start till the sorry, till the 3 ETH, I think it's meant to be ETH, had 3x from all-time high. When we did gaming, for example, coin shop 10, 20, 50x, this didn't happen until mid to late bull run. But when it did, Sandbox did an 80x. Even the worst, most vaporware game coin did 10 to 20x. I thought that was brilliant. The same thing will apply here. At this point, investors will absolutely drunk on what will be looking for the next narrative. Without a doubt, AI, RWA, likely gaming. Crypto has already distributed 3 of these industries profitably. Gaming move in 2020 turned thousands to millions for many, many people. This run has far more money. That will be far more horny when these narratives start moving. All you have to do is sit tight and prepare. Most are losing their mind, waiting this now. Stop it. Wait, it's going to happen just like last time. We're still in the first phase. Now, again, depends if you believe him or not. But yeah, the fact that he said that, this Sandbox followed it by the worst, most vaporware game coins. I'm like, poor Craig. Hey, Craig, you do you, bro. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You know what I mean? You might be in the best play in the market. Understand that. You might have all the chickens and no one else does. No one else does. Yeah, but thank you, Blazer. And imagine it's going to make you a better person. That's where I would sit with that. Takes a big man to own up to those bags. Craig loves it. I love it. I love it. What did you do, Craig? Do you sell all your XRP and go into bonk as well? Am I making that up? Or did I read that somewhere? How do you feel about pudgy penguins? We just talked about it, actually. It's kind of crazy. The fact that it's at 2.73 billion and dropping may even see pudgy penguins come down to around 3068. That would be what? Well, less than that. Might even break under a $2 billion market cap. I think maybe that could be pretty interesting if it comes down. We'd need to see a bigger market correction, but I mean, yeah, maybe. Maybe. Could be pretty crazy on that one. I think they've got some big partnerships. I think it's going to do very, very well, by the way. But yeah, worth noting. Don't go anywhere, chat. I just thought for a second that maybe some daddy long legs tries to get in the window. So I just wanted to check it out. Tim, I'm going to sort stream elements out tonight as well, by the way. Laura Babb said, I sold my family and bought chilies. The sand will be off. Yeah, I hope so, Tim. It'd be brilliant. It would be brilliant. I eat chilies. Let's let it. Let's get it. Robert says, Big Al, Laura, if XRP it's 10k, I'll buy you both a Vespa. Nice. There we go. Look at that. There you go. I mean, it's a long way. Thoughts on XRP? Yeah, pretty bullish on XRP. I actually thought we might have got a little bit more out of that strengthening American crypto technology reports. I thought maybe we got a little bit of XRP news, but look, I think that's probably just me being overly hyped and excited. But yeah, not quite. Oh, I have to verify. There we go. TikTok, no dramas. But yeah, I think XRP for me has got some solid opportunities this bull market. For sure. For sure. XRP will... Oh dear. Yeah, Bitcoin's having a cool off again. Stop it, Bitcoin. You need to get your ass back above 117. Hopefully we get there. But yeah, like I said, lots of crazy stuff going on in the markets today as well. We're seeing like big moves in the meme coin space, altcoin space, particularly low caps. Like some of them are really starting to perform pretty well, which is pretty interesting as well. So the Solana ecosystem is always a bit tasty. But yeah, like Pepe's moving, which is kind of good news. Got a couple of other coins making it happen right now. None of which I know anything about. But yeah, Crunch AI. Look at this thing going crazy right now. What the hell, Crunch AI? What the hell? So yeah. Good news if you ask moi. Many people do, which is good. Which is good. Right, anyway, let's keep an eye on this. BTC is flip-flopping. Officially, it is a CZ on a boat metric. So, yeah, if you got any questions, any thoughts, by the way, let me know. No Fed meetings in August. It's bullish. Well, maybe. Again, all eyes will be on CPI, PCE, PPI data when all those come out now. You got like 2 months of no Fed decisions, but 2 months of data that's going to kind of steer us into the right direction. So, yeah. We'll see how that one plays out. Could be interesting for sure. We'll have to keep an eye on it. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Hyper and Bugger up back. Hyper. P358, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Appreciate everybody hitting the follow button. Everyone dialing in. Again, we're live stream 6 days a week. Keeping you guys absolutely focused in on the market. Making sure you guys know what's up. You've got to be educated in this space. You've got to be dialed into a community. And you've got to be able to make it. And that's what we're all about. Trying to make it. Hopefully we get there. Boom, 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 boom. Right, we've got another tomato. I'd love it if that actually was Craig, but I think it's a bit harsh. I think it's a bit harsh. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't resemble him that often. But yeah, he does love sand. Everyone loves a bit of sand. Just no. I'm only kidding, Craig. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. So let's just recap a little bit as to what happened today. For anyone who's just jumping in the live stream, Jerome Powell did not cut rates. He decided that the federal funds rate was appropriate given the risk that is still there. The first half of the year did play out not as favorable as we thought. However, second half of the year with tariffs look like it is definitely getting better. So we've got 2 months now where we don't have a Fed decision. All eyes is going to be on the labor market and, more importantly, what that inflation data does look like. This could steer the Fed into a potential pause again in September, which again is not what we expected. The Fed certainly, and I think the market's even priced in a definite 25 basis points cut in September. That at the minute looks to be a little bit on shaky ground, which therefore pushes us back into the October. Therefore, you would expect something like cut in October, flat in November, and then maybe a cut in December, which I think would play out, interesting enough. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. Rambo, what's going on, buddy? How's it going? Yeah, it's going good, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you tuning in. So that does that. Now, the markets didn't like it, reacted with a pretty heavy selling off on top of, as was pointed out in my live stream, a big tariff on copper, particularly the finished product as opposed to imported goods. So again, worthwhile thinking of that. So pretty old volatile day. And then to wrap it all up in a neat bow, we also got that strengthening America through digital asset leadership, which turned out to be relatively okay. Nothing concrete and firm. We'll have to wait and see as that develops over the course of maybe the next week. Maybe we get a little bit from Scott Bessent. Maybe 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝘁𝗲𝗍 going to come out and talk a bit about what it means. At the minute, though, definitely in a little bit of a wait and see moment for the markets. Hopefully, we'll see some upside. If not, it's life, innit? That is the natural or the nature of this particular bull market. So yeah. Do you think VeChain can reach 30 cents this cycle? I actually had VeChain. I put it in my charts yesterday. VeChain. Yeah, VeChain. Here we go. Look at this. Do I think it could get to 30 cents? I mean, it would need to go crazy. In fact, it would need to go freaking crazy. What did the all-time high at? All-time high at 8 cents. You're saying 4x its all-time high. It would need something crazy. By the way, the UFC partnership could bring that narrative in, but I would challenge and say I think that's a pretty exaggerated bull price. Just my opinion. But all-time was 27 cents. Was it? Am I looking at the wrong thing then? What am I looking at? VeChain. Maybe I look at the wrong thing. How to bet there was no rate cut in 2021 Bullrun either. Oh, really? Oh, we had that. Tim, we did have that, didn't we? Rate cuts versus the Fed rates. Hold on a minute. Fed rates. Interest rates for the Federal Reserve. Here you go, look. Here you go, look, baby. So we can go back to the 2021 bull market. Tim, this was something you sent me, wasn't it? So 2021 bull market. True, we didn't have any rate cuts. The reason we didn't have any rate cuts, though, is there was no inflation. So inflation kicked in 2022 as the bear market hit, and obviously that thing that everyone else started wearing face masks. But there's actually no inflation from the 2020 to 2021, well, to 2022. That's where you got that's where you got a crazy market. So there you go, look. There you go. This is showing you the federal interest rate number and price index. So this is the 2021 bull market, which then, if you think about it, we're at 4.25 to 4.5, and the market's going crazy and Bitcoin's breaking new all-time highs. So imagine when they do cut rates, and they will eventually cut them. Like it is literally going to be, let's get to Aruba, baby. Ondo, the future market. Yeah, we just talked about Ondo and its tokenization. Looking pretty good. Lots of US treasuries been available to the average consumer through guess where it's going? Ethereum blockchain, baby. All of that is, in my opinion, good news. Yeah. 2030 view XRP reaching 15 to 1,000, though these scenarios assume mass adopt. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it. I mean, that's the view on Bitcoin to 1 million, isn't it? It's got to drive complete adoption. And look, I mean, whether we're there or not is a different debate for a different show. You bullish on 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝘁𝗲? No. I did actually own 𝗥𝗲𝗹. I was in 𝗥𝗲𝗹, and I didn't like the way they did the migration. Fortunately, I was on an exchange, so it was fine. Then they got hacked, and now you don't hear anything about them. I don't even know what the price is. What is the price of it? 𝗥𝗲𝗹 Games is at what? 60, what? 1 cent 6. Yeah, I'm absolutely not bullish at all on it. Yeah, not for me. Not for me. It used to be. I think they had the world at their feet, and they should have done a really good job, but yeah, not anymore for me. 𝗥𝗲𝗹 Games, nah, and it is looking like it's just on a slow decline. Now, they might have something crazy going on. They might have a big announcement coming. I don't know. I don't even follow the ecosystem. All I know is when it was going crazy, everyone was bull posting, Gala Games this, World of War tanks, this, that, and the other, and everyone going super, super crazy. Now, no one talks about it. No one talks about it. So we'll see. A rate cut will happen. People have got to hold the line and they will kill. Yeah, I think so, JJ. I think so. I think you're absolutely right. I think you're absolutely right. As with many things, you know, the whole crypto market is based upon being able to hodl particular coins and assets versus, you know, dumping at the first opportunity, isn't it? You know, if you dumped your Bitcoin at the first chance, you'd have missed out. Or if you bought some pizzas, you'd have missed out as well. 𝗏𝗏𝗿𝗀, what's going on? 2-bit Casper. Do you mean as in the CASPER as opposed to the KASPER? Where's that at? I mean, it's up 3% on the day at 1127. What is it looking like in terms of price, though? Not super crazy is all I would say. And definitely is in a decline from its all-time high at 1165. So, yeah, it's not massively far from its all-time high, though. But volume's only 8 million. So, and it is the 271st ranked cryptocurrency. So, yeah, not sure, to be honest. Not sure about that one. Again, feels a little bit low end, in my opinion. So by the sounds of it, you're not bullish on anything. No, that's not true. I'm bullish on a lot of things. I'm bullish on the overall market. I'm bullish on many altcoins. I'm just not bullish on Gala Games that I think is a 2021. Maybe as a resurgent. Don't know. Do I think it outperforms some of the other coins? No, I don't think so. And yeah, Casper with a C. I'm not particularly that bullish on that. But if you would say, oh, are you bullish on Ethereum? Obviously. Are you bullish on Pepe? Yes. I'm not bullish on Casper mining. Nope, not at all, actually. Not at all. Turns out that's not a great idea. In some respects. Can you give us a few you're bullish on? 100%. Ondo Finance, AVAX, Ethereum, Sui, Aerodrome Finance, Algorand, what else? Chainlink, Jupiter, Whiff, Pepe, Bonk. There you go. There are some of my things. Check out my YouTube channel. I actually got a couple of videos on there. Top 20 altcoins I think are going to be big. And also altcoins that could 5x your portfolio. Maybe in the month of August. They are both available on my YouTube channel. Go and check those out. 2-bit, you bullish on the new Tesco meal deal? They're banging. I am not. I don't like spreading sandwiches. And you can, you know, hit me. Jasmine, yeah. They are starting to build out some good stuff with Jasmine. Finally seeing that stuff, making it happen. Finally saying some stuff that actually means that we should be, that we should start to feel a good news. So, yeah. So we'll see. Are you personally affected by the UK? Does that mean to say incoming ban? Or not? T-Money, what do you mean? There's no ban. There's regulation coming and there's some stuff that I don't agree with, but it's life and it's coming and we've got to manage our way around it. Again, if you want to find out what your obligation is in terms of taxes and how you can be effective and efficient, I also have a video talking about that on my YouTube channel as well, so you should definitely go check those out. But yeah, I mean, the regulation that's coming in from the UK is that exchanges will daily send HMRC your transactions, your buy prices, your sell prices, any movement in your cryptocurrency coins. So, yeah, important to think about what that looks like. It comes into effect in January. By the way, they already do it. It's just not as deliberate. And actually, they will send it on a daily basis through full automation. So, yeah, you're going to have to be really mindful. I've got a series of videos going to be coming out talking about how I'm going to navigate that. What does DeFi look like and how you can support your ecosystem in a DeFi play. Remember, you pay taxes, and you should pay your taxes, by the way, on all transactional events. If you don't do any transaction events, then you're fine. Also, $6,000 is what you can get away with without paying taxes. So, yeah. Again, I have a full video breaking it down on my YouTube channel that I highly recommend checking out. Coin, Rambo. I haven't talked about Coin for ages. That was all of my OG coins. That, Monero, and Dash, I think it was, I talked about back in 2017. Crazy. 2-bit bullish on Ranch Crumpets. No. What is you guys are so freaking weird with your Ranch Crumpets bullshit. Anyway. Good news. All of my Dinos XRP do no chance. Let's get it. Don't forget, by the way, I'm going to be live again on TikTok in about 30 to 35 minutes. So if you are interested, come and join us. I am going to end the stream there, though. We've been live now for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Again, we'll be back on TikTok in about 35 minutes. So make sure you're already following us. Make sure you're dialed in. We'll sort of get into just a few other bit of an, yeah, kind of just any sort of view that is out there. So if you're interested in that and you want to get dialed in, then hit the follow button. We'll be there and we'll be back in 30 minutes live on TikTok. And for anyone who's on YouTube, I'll be back as always tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK time. Hopefully by that point, we'll be seeing a very bullish market and lots of things to celebrate. So until then, thanks so much, everybody. Catch you back in 30 minutes. Thank you.